Hey, hi, hi all. Welcome to Promethean Bryce. This is going to be another small tutorial video, quite a quick one. As I've mentioned a few times before, there's a little thing called organic and hard surface modeling. We're going to do a bit of hard surface modeling, so it's kind of just like the normal editing rather than any sculpts. So we're basically just going to be using the mouse on this one. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a lightsaber, nice and quick. Get you used to the tools. It's a nice way of using those general editing tools and gets you a nice little bit of practice so you can start doing your own stuff. So firstly, what we're going to do is make sure, as always, the values are x, z, and y in these angles. So you want x this way, y, so x this way, z up, and then y straight towards the screen. So just make sure when you go to that side view, you have a x, y, and z in that way, and a red line across and a blue line up. And that's what we're going to do first. So then we're going to add an image because we'd like to use a reference. And then we're going to add this one that's called lightsaber 2 here. And this is just going to be a few lightsabers. You can pick which one you want to do if you want to follow your own path, or you can pick your own. And I think I just made sure this video would actually work by doing the Darth Vader one. So let's do this sort of Obi-Wan Luke Skywalker-y one here, because it's got a little bit more angle to it, and it also has a little bit of a simpler hilt. So what we'll do is we'll go on that one. So what we'll do is just increase the size there just a little bit, and then move it backwards a little on that value, and you should have something like that. So that's what you're referencing, dead quick. You don't need those side reference to this really, because it's all shapes, so nothing's going to be too obscure. If you want to get a bit of extra reference, that's up to you. Preferably if you've got like a model or something already, or just have a look at the images online to see any stuff like these top bits, but I'll show you how to do them when we get to it. So first thing we're going to do is just going to add a cylinder, and then just if we just quickly go to studio here, so we're going to move this across because we're going to keep taking it. So because we're going to use it mostly to that side, we want to change the value on this little one here, on the one that says object, which is the orange little square, like it looks like a frame in a cinema frame. You want to change that to a 90 degree because you're going to be using that the most. And then just leave it enough to the side so you can see it, but enough so it's away from your actual main value. And then just as usual, Control C, Control V, nothing else with that one. And then just put the value as close as you can to this reference. Again, if you're in and out tiny little bits, it's not going to make a massive difference. We're just getting that general shape. So I'm just going to edit that a little bit there by pressing S to resize, up and down, just move that value until you get to where you need it, which I already had. And then scale it up to fit that space by using these move tools. Now, just a quick note, if you're using this tutorial for the first time, go down to the transform, just because you can use that move tool, but it would just move the values here. If you use the transform, you have everything from rotation, size, and width, and depth, and everything, so you don't have to worry too much about going into all these settings. It's kind of the be-all setting for that, really. So just increase that as much as you can to get to the top bit, and then you've got your first section. All right, so you can do this one of two ways. You can actually do each part separate. So you say Control C, Control V, and bring it over. But a lot of the time, what you're going to want to do, if you want something, say, all the same color, the best thing to do is actually grab your object and go into edit mode and then edit it all as one piece. Just keeps it a lot cleaner as well. And then you got these 3 settings at the top for vertices, edges, and faces. You really want to work with it, the faces, because it tends to be the best one. What we're going to do actually is we're going to duplicate this one. Just because this one's black here, what we'll do is we'll actually get another one and we'll Control C, Control V across. I'll teach you how to do the other one later. And we're just going to decrease that size just slightly less using the S again. Then this one here, just a slight bit, and then we're going to leave that in with that one just because it's a black layer and you're going to have that there. So now delete the duplicate your original one to get this exact size for this bottom bit of the hill and resize that one in, and that way you can get it the same size. This is, like I said, it's hard surface modeling. So what I mean by that is it's got a lot of flat edges, flats and edges, and when you organic something, it's got a lot of natural shape, whereas this is flat and curved. It's very shaped. Like I said, it's just as the name says, it's hard surfaced. So then when you've done that, you want to grab the one for the black one again and just duplicate this over. And then this is where I'll show you about that. So you just want to get this to the middle one here, and then increase that size all the way up to where it goes there, a bit shorter. And I'll tell you how to get to the next bit after that. So don't worry about these overlapping a little bit. You're not going to see them. And if you wanted to get rid of them, if you was really sort of got a little bit of an OCD and want to get rid of them, you can actually boolean into each one to get them exactly flat. Or I'll show you now. What you can do is you can go into edit mode, grab the face, the face which will be there. Go to your side one. Remember to do that. You press the Alt button and the middle mouse. Again, I'm sorry about that. I always forget to mention for people who are new, that's what you do if you're struggling. And just line it off using the toggle X-ray to see where it comes to the edge. And if you want to do that a bit quicker. So what you can do now is, you see how these bits come out and this bit comes out here? Well, what we'll do first is we're going to edit mode again. Grab the face, remember to have face selected. Then go down to the one that says insert faces, and that will insert a face. But what you want to do is try and match that one there. So it might take a couple of times. I'm just going to try and eyeball it. Sometimes your S isn't the best. Oops. And don't try and, if you do it too much, just bring it in. What you can do is press S on that when you've got it. So what you can do is just bring it in. Let's do it again just to show you. If you bring it in just a little bit and then let go so you can move around it, keep that face selected and press S, and you can resize it a lot easier. It just saves you a lot of time. I was just trying to get it exact, that first one. Now there's two ways to do this next bit. You can either press the extrude button, which is over here, which I didn't actually know had changed. But you can press the extrude button there, or you can press E on your shortcut key. Just when you're doing hard surface, E seems to be the best way to do it fast. Then you've got a section, and then if you want to get this section bit here, what you can do is you can, once again, you insert a face, and we're just going to do it the opposite way. So you go to insert face, grab it a little bit, and then press S all the way out, and that gets it perfectly flat. And what you want to do is, if you look at the reference here, it's going to be bigger than this original one. So you just want that slightly bigger than the original. And then again, you want to either press extrude here and pull it out, or E to move it with the shortcut. Now, as you can see, I haven't got these secondary edge bits. Again, there's two ways you can do this. The way that I was talking about before, where you can just grab one of these, Control V, Control C, Control V, and then resize them. And just put them where you need them to be, which is a nice, easy way of doing it. If you're not going to see anything underneath it, that's absolutely fine. But I want to show you two ways of doing this. If you want to keep it as one piece and keep it nice and sort of neat, what you will do is go to edit mode, loop cut, and just place a load of loop cuts in until you get as many as you need. And what you can do, you're not going to get these exact when you do it this way, but I just want to show you how to do it. So if you go there and if you press the viewport shading here bit where you can see the mesh, just make sure you can see the mesh, and then go to faces and select them. So let's say we select this one. Just making sure. Right, just 1 second. I'm not sure why that isn't. There you go. Right, so you get in each one of these. Select the loops across as much as you need. And there's one, I would say that one at the edge there is one as well. And then what you do, and the reason why we have to go into the wireframe mode is just because if you select with the shading like it is, it will just select that one side because it's what you see. But if you select the wireframe, it will select all of those from the bit you're looking at. Rather than just the ones at the front, it will select the ones at the back, as you can see. Now, the reason I wanted to show you this way is because A, it's a good way of doing things, but B, keeps it neat, and C, most of all, what you can do is right-click and extrude along normals, and this will keep them all equal, and then extrude them out, and they're all extruded out from that. So extruding along normals is just a very important thing to use if you want, say, two different faces, but you want them to come out at equal amounts on the opposite axes, say X, Y, or Z. That's the best way to do it. And then you have that. Now, if we have a look how many is here, you want them quite big. So that was just me kind of showing you what to do. So if you want to go back on that one, Control Z all the way and do it the original way I said the first time, and this will just get it a little bit more accurate. So I was just trying to give you a little bit of advice onto extruding along normals. So if you can do it, it's preferred to do it that way. But if you can't, if it's like slightly off like it is here, you just want to Control C, Control V. Once you've resized it, and that way you just have a little bit more of a section there. I mean, if you look at that, it looks quite thick. So what we want to do is just increase that size here a little bit. And then reduce that size. Then what you've got there, you want that one just to be over the side. Just want to edit that one a little bit. Then what you have is the first sort of section there. Remember to Control save this. I've already saved this as just light saber. Right, so then you're going to get another one of these, Control C, Control V, and then resize this next bit. And then, like I was saying before, after that you grab your edge, so you select it, edit mode, make sure you're on faces, select the face you want, insert a face anywhere you need, and then you just go to the side view again and press S to resize, E to extrude it out. Insert a face again, S to resize, E to extrude out. And then with this, what we're going to do is we're going to extrude another face quite small in. So actually, no, if I remember rightly, these lightsabers have a little bit of a jump in, so you want to do it a little bit like that. And we're going to cut in, so we're going to go E, and then we're going to move backwards. If you want to see that, you use the ghosting tool, so the toggle X-ray. And then what you can do is quickly resize that. And then you just want to insert another face. Take that off, just insert another face, which again, we're going to have really small on this one. Forgive me on that one, that was my fingers going off. And then E, and then just insert another one, and then E down. And there you have your sort of intersection of your lightsaber. Your middle bit here and the hilt done. Personally, I'm just going to quickly do a bit of resizing here, just other than just a slight different from the reference, just because I feel a bit of these should be a little bit different. For example, all these, I think these should be a little bit more smaller. To me, that looks a bit better. And we're going to also keep that other section slightly out instead of in. Again, you can keep yours exactly to the reference if you want. It's just me. Again, it's just like I always say, using your initiative with the with all this stuff. Now, I want this end because it's not actually flat. You may look it on this reference, but that's just the way it's been drawn. So if you get the edit mode, select the face, and then press the bevel tool, you can actually bevel this once or twice. Remember to unselect and then select it again and bevel it once or twice to just get like a small bit more rounded edge at the end. Anything that has like I said, but this is still hard surface, but if it's got like a roundness towards that edge, that's called a bevel. And all you want to do when you have that is select the faces you need, or even sometimes you can select the so you can go into edit, you can select the faces, and sometimes you can actually select the sections, the edge select. Quick bit of advice on that one: if you need to select all of the faces or all of the sections, you press Alt and then click. So if I wanted all these faces here, you press it, you press Hold Alt and press click. If you want them to the side, you've got to make sure you're doing the same thing but on the line. And the same goes with this edge. So if you select this edge here, it's going to go all the way around. But if let's say you wanted this one here, you've got to select that. So just be careful with your placement and you should be all right. But we've got that edge bit on the side, and that's all done to me. And now we want to start adding some extra bits. So we're now going to start working with the traditional shapes like the cube. And we're going to start over with these tiny bits. Now, again, you want to do the same thing as you did with the first one. Just place one to the side and then move over when you need it, because we're going to be doing a lot of resizes and changing of shapes here. So resize this to pretty much the same shape as this, but with the square, or the cube, should we say. And these have like a slight roundness to them. And to do that, go into edit mode, go into face, and push the face down just a little bit. And then go back to it and then press E, or you extrude there and push it out. And then press your transform button at the top here after you've extruded it to the point you need, and then move this green one so it just moves in a little bit and it gives it a little bit of that extra shape. And then simple as to get around this, what you need to do is Control C, Control V, mirror it along the Z, place it where it needs to be, so exactly where it's on. And then you want these going all the way around. And to do that, let me just quickly, if you've got these a bit close, just always move them slightly down just so you're not in your way when you're editing. Select your two that you've just made, Control C, Control V, and then put them to the side. Again, these don't have to be perfect. Control C, Control V, and then do another one in between. Control C, Control V, and do another one in between there. And then you've got a load around the base. You can actually do this different ways. There is actually sections in the modifiers to go around, but that's just the way of doing it, just because it's a little bit more quicker for the moment, and we're trying to keep it quite simple for this design. I'm going to show you something as well, actually. I think this bottom's a bit flat, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a face, and then we're going to do that method like I said before. We're going to grab the face and press Alt, and then we're just going to extrude that in for a little bit of detail, just so it has like a little bit of bottom, because it would do. That's what I imagine it would have. So you've got that top bit, it gives it a little bit of extra depth. We're going to be smoothing this off later and add some texture as well. So there's many ways to do that, but we're just going to do it the quick way. So we're just going to quickly move that top bit out as well, because I believe that's a little bit too small on there. Like I said, just use your initiative, have a look at it from the outside view and have a look where you want to change it. So we've done that bit, and now what we're going to do is we're going to grab the cube again, Control C, Control V. Because remember, you can always, once you've done this tutorial, you can actually do the other ones yourself. Yeah, it's good practice as well. I didn't mention this in my other tutorials, but if you do it, I would actually like to see what results people get. So if you want to post it on, say, the only way I can think of it is just tag me on Instagram and post it, and just put tutorial, Promethean Bryce tutorial outcome or something like that, and just tag me in it, and I'd like to see what people have done. And then just like, share, comment, subscribe. Tell me how it went for you. See if I've missed anything. Again, as always, I always say add that in the comments section if I've missed out. So what we're going to do here, this has a two-step section. So one step is bigger than the other. So we're going to go to the front and we're going to widen it. And then we're going to Control C, Control V, go up. And then we're going to shrink in that second one. And then they're on the exact same sort of layer. Now what we want in this one is a bit where it goes underneath. So to do that, we want to go Edit Mode. You want to grab the edge loops, and you want to create 3 spaces and a half. So 3 spaces, one here, one here, one here, and one across the middle. Then you want to go into your faces. Make sure you, whenever you use the loop tool, make sure you always go back to the transform, just because otherwise it will add more loops. If you've added more loops, just press Control Z and do it again. And then you just want to E downwards, and then just lift it up a little bit more and bring it in a little bit as well. Now inside this, I see we're just going to extend this because I think it's a little bit close in. So we just want a little bit out, a little bit in. Inside this, there'll be sort of like little lumps where you sort of turn it on. You can do this one of 2 ways. You can actually add a UV sphere, resize it to the size you need, be smaller than that. And then I'm going to use this method because I think it will be the one that's correct. And you just want to go into your X-ray, and you want to match the halfway line with that line here. And then go out of your X-ray, and that's what it should look like. And then you just want a few of these, and try and just eyeball, say 4 of them. And then you've got like a little section where it turns on. and you want the little stopper on that. So what you can do is you can grab this one here, Control C, Control V. Just don't select the other one because we've made a few cuts in it. And then we're just going to resize this until we can get one that looks like this. And then just place it down. So you've got one there, and you want one up like that. And then you want also a smaller, thinner one, so make a smaller, thinner one and put that at the start there as well. Then you just have something that looks a little bit like that. So that's your top section. And that's pretty much that. That's why I picked this one. We've just got these last bits to do, and they're just going to be done a little bit different. You'll grab Control C, Control V, one of them. And this is where I'll teach you how to do the bevel edges. So just grab this one, resize it, see you've got something similar to what it's on the reference, just below, because this is going to be the beveled edge. And then you want to make it just a little bit more cube-like. Grab it, edit mode, then you want to E this up and then just resize it. And then just press A to select all, and then bevel, and just increase the bevel value. And that way you've got a load of rounded edges on there. And the reason I've done this is that's because of what it looks like on the reference. And then all you want to do with that is the same method as what you did with those other things. Control C, Control V. Again, you just eyeballing whether or not that's equal. Select the two, Control C, Control V. Move them around. And we're only going to do 4 on that one. And then you've got that section. So that's pretty much all done. Now for the next bit, if you want, these bits are going to stay the same. So what you can do is you can grab these and press join. And you can grab all of these ones here. So make sure these are separate. But just join certain sections together. So you've got that. And that's all fine. So if you can, so you're pretty much done at that point. But if you notice, there's still quite a harsh edge. You want it still to be quite smooth. And to do that on Blender, on Maya, you can pretty much just smooth it and add more segments. But on Blender, it's not that easy. To do it, you actually have to go a bit of a complicated route. So just follow me quite closely on this one. You have to add, generate, oops, let me just get this correct. Yep, so it's generate an edge split, keep the value at 30 and keep the ticked sharped edge. Then you've got to add another one afterwards, subdivision surface, and then bring that out to, I'm just going to bring that up to about a 6. And you notice how straight away it keeps those edges, and it keeps it, and it turns it to it's smooth. If you did this the way that other people will say, which is shade smooth, it just won't look as good, and it will try and sort of curve smooth it, and that's not what you want to do. With everything that's got that sort of look and you want to smooth it off, same every time. Edge split, make sure it says 30 and sharp edges, subdivision surface, add a value of 6. And we're literally just going to do that to everyone here. So edge split, it's good practice anyway. So you go there, generate subdivision surface, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. You can get away with a smaller value, to be fair. Just having a drink. And it would do the same for the bigger options as well. This is another reason why you would do it. So you go to, oops, you go to Control Z if you make any mistakes like I do. It's just the same with any other software. Subdivision surface. 6 just keeps it nice and smooth. So add. This is why I was saying you want to keep it all as one mesh as well, because it will take you less time to do this. To speed it up, what you can do is actually, with these ones, for example, try not to do it with all these, join them again because they're part of the same set. Then you add, generate, edge split, add, generate, subdivision surface. And that's all under this modifiers tab, by the way. I forgot to mention which tab it was. And then you've got a really smooth lightsaber where you need it. With these ones, you can actually just shade smooth them ones because when it's anything round, you can just do that. And then you're all together. So you want to join those ones. So one section. And then you've done. That's your lightsaber done. It looks really cool. It's great practice and it gives you a bit of confidence as well. Now, with this, we're going to add some little bits onto it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the second one, viewport shading, and we're going to go to the one which, if you press this little section down here, viewport shading, and you go to the line, go to matte cap, and it will be on that one as default, and you can check that all these cool sections out. You can even have it cartoony. But what we want to do is press this metallic one, and already you've got that correct look. But when it comes to these sections here, anything that is the same color, you want to join together because it will just speed the process up a little bit. Just making sure I've got the one selected. So that's all black there, that's black there. That top section will be black. And these inner sections will be black. Oh, not the top section, it's the bottom section. So just make sure you've got the right ones selected. Control Z. Join them. And then because I joined them, it got rid of the modifier. So generate, edge split, generate, subdivision surface. And then 6. Oh, it's only gone to 5, but that's okay. We only need 5. It seems like the larger the number. You see, I'm used to. Oh, so apologies. Go back. I've seen why it's not done that. I would say don't join them. To be honest, it just takes a longer time. I was just trying to save some time, but don't do that. Actually, go back on that. Go to sculpt mode. Go to paint. Select the black as you value, and then just go into each one individually. And just paint them. It shouldn't take too long because it's not too much going on, but you might find that it takes a little bit longer because when you have a edit like a subdivision surface, in all fairness, the best thing to do is actually press up here and apply, and then just apply, and remember to apply them in order. Go back, sorry about that. Apply, and then what you can actually do is join them. That's how you do it. So you press them, join, and that way they'll stay correct and they won't have the attribute on them. So always remember to apply before you join. That would be my mistake, and I hopefully in me making that mistake and showing you, you've got a little bit more future reference so you don't make that mistake like I do. And then all you want to do with that is go to the last one here, just join those blocks here, here, and here. Press join, sculpt mode, paint them black. And then that's pretty much it, really. Like I said, it's a nice little way of teaching you how to use that hard surface modeling. So now you can do anything from another lightsaber to a box, just a simple box, or Like I said before in other videos, like tables, stuff like that, anything with a hard surface, or let's say you're doing a bit of armor, it's how you would build the armor for a character. You just check out my other videos for the tutorials on how to do organic stuff. I've done a referenced one, so one with a reference that you can use to get the exact shape, and that's the Jake the Dog tutorial. And then I've also done a shark video. It's not my best model, that one, but it's just a nice non-reference to get you used to using the tools and using it organically. So hopefully you can go have a look at those ones. But that's pretty much that. Like I said, if you show me your results on Instagram or wherever, or just tell me how it went. What I would suggest for everyone is if you once you've done this first one, I suggest you just be brave enough and just go down the list, do the same thing for this top one, this one here, and this one here. And I promise you it'll be worth the time and effort because it's really good. It's how I started. The more confident you get with hard surface stuff, you sort of get into the 3D space, and it helps you get a bit more confident to do the organic stuff eventually. And it just helps you get used to the tools in general in Blender. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you want to support me, I have a buy me a coffee where you can buy models. I will put this model on as with every model I do. And I have all my models that I've done, even my tutorial ones. And you can just generally buy me a coffee. You can buy the item at a small cost to print off if you wanted, or to just have and keep, or you can buy a £7 a month monthly membership where you can support me just in general and have every file I've ever done, and that'll be free within the membership. And every file that I'll do from now on will also be free. But like I said, I really do hope you've enjoyed that one, and I'll be doing some more tutorials to the time. I'm going to try and get into a bit of a bigger step-by-step full character design, like a part 1, part 2, part 3 video, eventually down the line. If there's anything else you want help with, or need help with, or want me to do tutorial-wise, just comment in the comment section, and I'll see what I can do. And then if I've missed anything, or just anything like that, just like I said, drop me a message. I'm still new to this, so same old. But like I said, come, hopefully subscribe and all that. Hopefully, you can support me in that. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.